Hi there. I want to talk about how to reprogram the subconscious. But first of all, before we talk about reprogramming, let's talk about programming. Programming before reprogramming. Now, when is the subconscious programmed? It is programmed in childhood, but can be reprogrammed at any other time later after that. I'll take it again. It is programmed in childhood, but can be reprogrammed at any other time after that. Now, let's talk about the programming. I say it's programmed in childhood. Now, what do I mean? You see, when a woman is pregnant, everything she starts doing during her pregnancy begins to have an impact on the child, not only physiologically, but even mentally. So her diet, the kind of emotions that she feels, the things that she goes through. So the subconscious of a child begins to form in the womb. And that's why the way people behave is a function of what they went through in childhood. And when I mean in childhood, everything that starts from when the child was conceived in the womb of the mother. Right from the first trimester of pregnancy. That's when things start to form. So I want to talk about a few things. Hey, wait, stop the tape. We have some breaking news right here. I'm going to be facilitating one of the most impactful trainings on reprogramming the subconscious coming up real soon. Subconscious mind is programmed in childhood, but can be reprogrammed in adulthood or at any other time. One more time. The subconscious mind is programmed in childhood, but can be reprogrammed at any other time. I'm going to be teaching about the principles, the techniques on reprogramming the subconscious. I'm a beneficiary of what I'm going to be training as well. I grew up with a certain pattern in my life of having low energy during pivotal moments in my life, during tipping points in my life, big moments. I just witnessed low energy, lack of zeal, lack of enthusiasm. And I was able to use these principles to reprogram my subconscious. So, do you have patterns that you want to break? Do you want to form new habits? Do you want to discontinue old habits, bad habits that you're pleased with? You can do so by learning the principles I'll be teaching in this training. You can see the flyers right here. I'll also be facilitating a training on how individuals become institutions. I take techniques from the greatest companies who have ever lived, who are almost near monopolies. Companies like Volkswagen, Toyota, great companies. I chronicle those companies and show you how individuals who started those companies eventually created corporations that are now institutions. It's an amazing training for anybody who wants to become pivotal in any leadership capacity, even if you're a parent, for anybody at all. An amazing training. So these two trainings are coming up real soon. As you can see on the flyers, they are for the month of May. Scan the QR code for more details. Do have an amazing day and bye for now. First of all, there's a man called Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was one of the most famed occultists of his time. He was also called the most wicked man in the world. He also had the nickname of the Beast. And I want to tell you his story. This was a man that was said to be so evil and wicked, but let's look at his story. Aleister Crowley was the son of a preacher. His father was actually a preacher, a clergyman. But what happened? His father died at a young age and he became very bitter. He was actually born Alexander Crowley. It was afterwards, he changed his name from Alexander to Aleister Crowley. But what happened to him? Because of that bitterness, he became very sad and began to harbor a lot of evil thoughts and began to specialize or began to have an obsession with the mastery and understanding of evil and forming of cults and all that. He wrote books, he was a poet, but everything about him spoke of evil. Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was so evil that even the houses that he lived in, after he moved out of those houses, people that got into those houses either had to sell the houses or move out of the houses or died in those houses. That's how famed for evil he was. Some of the cults that he created are the most evil cults till date. But guess what? It was the bitterness of his childhood that metamorphosed into his mastery of evil. I'll give you another example. Chris Brown is a musician that needs no introduction. He was famed for assaulting his then girlfriend Rihanna. But guess what? Chris Brown in childhood saw his father beat his mother, physically assault his mother. As a child, he saw physical abuse. But let's talk about Hitler. Hitler was one of the most evil men who ever lived. As a child, Hitler's father was very ruthless on him. Very ruthless on him. In fact, when Hitler's father would beat Adolf Hitler, the mother would have to throw her body in between just to reduce the torture meted out to that guy. Can you see that our subconscious mind, which makes up 95% of who we are, our choices, our preferences, our habits, our likes, our dislikes, is formed in childhood? For Hitler, it was formed in childhood. For Aleister Crowley, it was formed in childhood. Let's look at R. Kelly. R. Kelly is somebody who has a notoriety for treating women poorly, sexual abuse, holding women captive against their will. He's serving what is almost a life sentence now. But guess what? R. Kelly suffered abuse, sexual abuse as a child. Can't we see that the subconscious is formed in childhood? But the beauty of the subconscious is that it can be reprogrammed in adulthood. So having a subconscious is not a death sentence. A qualified subconscious is not a death sentence. You can reprogram it. But I just wanted to talk about how subconscious is programmed. The final example I want to give is the example of Laszlo Polgar, that great parent who raised 3 children, Sofia Polgar, Susan Polgar, and Judith Polgar, to become chess grandmasters. Right from when they were young, he started to train them to become chess grandmasters. Even the artwork on the house spoke of chess. Everything around them spoke of chess. And then he said, my 3 children will become chess grandmasters. And as he said it, it happened. Why? Because he programmed them from childhood to become chess grandmasters. That is how the subconscious is programmed. In the next video, I will talk about how the subconscious can be reprogrammed. God bless you. Bye for now. Hi there, I'm Adekomi Olusonya, publisher of the Immersion Bible, and I will get you addicted to the Word of God, line upon line, precept upon precept. If you would like access to any of my books, products, or services, scan the QR code after this and you will have access to that. Kemi sends her love as always. Do have an amazing day and bye for now.